the Goose Girl. Once upon a time, there was an old queen. Long ago, her husband had died, and she had only one child, a gentle, beautiful daughter. When the princess turned 18, she was promised to marry a prince who lived far away. The queen loved her daughter dearly. She packed shining gold, silver, and sparkling jewels, everything a princess should take to her new home. She also sent a maid named Magda to travel with her and keep her safe. But Magda was not as kind as she seemed. In her heart, she dreamed of riches, fine gowns, and even a crown of her own. She knew a little secret magic and was ready to use it for her plans. Each of them had a horse. The princess's horse was special. His name was Falada, and he could talk. Before the journey began, the queen gave her daughter a white cloth with 3 bright red signs on it. "My dear child," she said, "keep this safe. It will help you on your way." The princess tucked it close to her heart, climbed onto Falada, and rode off. After a while, the princess grew very thirsty. They stopped by a river, and she kindly asked her maid, "Please fetch me some water with my golden cup." But the maid said angrily, "Get it yourself. I will not serve you." The princess knelt by the river to drink, and as she did, the white cloth slipped into the water and floated away. Magda's eyes gleamed. She knew that the magic had broken, and now her dark plan could begin. She ordered the princess to trade horses. "I will ride Falada. You must take my old horse," she barked. She also forced the princess to wear plain clothes and made her promise never to tell the truth. Afraid, the princess agreed, but Falada had seen everything. When they reached the prince's castle, the prince welcomed Magda, thinking she was his bride, and led her inside. The true princess had to stay outside with the horses. If you're enjoying this magical tale, please like the video and subscribe. It would really help our little channel. The old king noticed her from the window. She looked kind and noble, though dressed in rags. He asked the bride, "Who is that young woman?" Magda quickly answered, "Oh, just a servant I brought along. Give her some work." So the king said, "She can help the goose boy." His name was Loron. From that day on, the princess tended the geese with him. Not long after, the false bride whispered to the prince, "My dear, do me a favor." "Of course," said the prince kindly. "Ask the stable master to sell my horse." It troubled me on the journey, but really, she was afraid Falada might reveal the truth. The true princess heard this and felt very sad. She went to the stable master and pleaded softly, "Please do not let Falada be forgotten. Hang his bridle under the stone gate I pass each day. Then I can still greet him." The man agreed, and soon Falada's bridle hung beneath the great stone arch. The next morning, when the princess and Loron drove the geese through the stone gate, she whispered, "Oh, Falada, bridle shining there," and the bridle answered in a deep, gentle voice, "O maiden queen, as you go, if your mother only knew, her heart would surely break in two. They walked on and led the geese to the meadow. There, the princess sat down and let her hair fall. It shimmered like golden fire in the sunlight. Laurent's eyes grew wide, and he reached for it, but the princess sang a soft spell. Blow, blow, little wind, carry his hat away, till my hair is combed today. Whoosh! The wind rushed in, snatched Laurent's hat, and sent it tumbling across the field. By the time he returned, her hair was already braided and hidden. The same thing happened the next morning. Her song, the bridal's answer, and the playful wind. That evening, angry and tired, Laurent complained to the old king. "I will not herd geese with her. She speaks to the bridle, and it speaks back. And whenever I try to touch her shining hair, the wind steals my hat." The king listened carefully and wished to see the truth. The next morning, he hid by the stone gate. He heard the princess speak to the bridle, and he heard the gentle reply. Then he followed her into the meadow and watched as she let down her golden hair. He saw the wind sweep Laurent's hat away while she calmly braided her hair. That evening, the king asked kindly, "My child, why do you do this?" The princess trembled. "I cannot tell you," she whispered. "I made a promise, and I am too afraid." The king said gently, "If you cannot tell me, then speak your sorrow to the magic iron stove." So she sat by the empty stove and wept. "I am a king's daughter. A false maid stole my clothes and my place beside the prince. Now I must herd geese. If my dear mother knew, her heart would break." But the king heard every word through the stovepipe. He brought her out, dressed her once more in the shining royal clothes, and told his son the truth. The prince's heart filled with joy when he saw his true bride. A grand feast was held. Music played, and candles shone like stars. The true princess sat on one side of the prince, while the false maid sat on the other side, not knowing her fate. The king told a riddle. What should happen to a servant who betrays her mistress? Magda, proud and bold, answered, "She should be sent away with no jewels or fine clothes, to work hard and never pretend again." The king's eyes flashed. "You have judged yourself." And at once Magda's false glitter faded, and her trickery was undone. At last the prince married his true bride, and together they ruled with kindness and joy. The whole kingdom seemed blessed with magic. And so, dear children, we learn that honesty and kindness shine brighter than lies. Even in hard times, patience and a gentle heart bring true happiness in the end.